Hey guys, this is Uso Gaming, and today I got an episode of Trove. This is particularly on my Ice Sage, and a little bit about how to use them and the stats that I think they're important. I've seen a few other YouTubers. Honestly, some of the stats that they talk about are good, but like there's one key stat that they leave out that they think is not very useful, and I just beg to differ. So. Um, this is a U5 Shadow Arena that I'm in with this group, and I ended up doing multiple ones with them. It was a very good group, but I ended up in this video just gonna have this one brief Shadow Arena in it. I do have some other Shadow Arena videos, so for future, I mean, if you guys want me to make a more breakdown one on my skills and whatnot, um, then I'll talk a little bit more about that in depth. Now, you see my magic damage here. My magic damage is over 6k, and that's because I just got the damage boost in this round. But my damage is around 3,300, and I recently, it was less than a week ago that I actually got new gear for my Ice Age. So right now, all the gear, I still have the Shadow 1 ring, but all my gear is Shadow 3, besides my ring. So now, you see this is the basic skill that you see everybody saying to use, and that's the Ice Shard, the crystal that drops. Now, that is good for AoE situations. You got multiple mobs here, so it's really good to use. But you see how, while I'm using this, I have to maintain a distance. Otherwise, sometimes you end up pulling aggro, and it's like if you're too close, you pull aggro, you get smacked around like a pinata. And I'll talk a little bit about the skills. And when I talk about the skills, the reason why one of the stats, and I'll just say, is max health, is really good. But you see a lot of the YouTubers telling you don't stack max health. Well, I mean, it's okay not to stack it, but all my gear, well, most of my gear has max health stat on there, and the reason because is your first skill, your Ice Ward here, is based off is 10% of your max health, the amount of damage that it can mitigate. So the higher your max health, the bigger your shield is, and the bigger your shield is, the less you have to keep spamming it to keep it up. So what that does is it lets you use your energy more for dropping your Ice Shard, like here in an AoE situation, and it also makes it so you don't have to stack energy just to spam your skill anymore, because now you're not having to switch back and forth real quickly and reapply it the entire fight, because it's like a lot of the bosses in these higher shadow arenas, you're gonna end up having to reapply it, and with that extra max health, the bigger my barrier is, I don't have to apply it as much. So it's like some of the other people that I know, it's like you see the spike strips here, you run into the spike strips and it automatically knocks the shield off, because that's already 10% of your max health, because your 10% of your max health was, your max health, since it was kind of low. Mine, I can sit on the spikes and it would be fine. This is actually a pre-recorded video, and just wanted to show a little bit of this higher level Shadow Arena. We didn't get a dungeon this round, but we ended up doing, I think it was like 30 rounds, and I had I think we did, out of 30 rounds, like 8 dungeons, so the rest of them were all regular arenas. But the one skill that you see me using the most here is your regular left mouse click button skill, the regular Ice Lance thing, and a lot of people say that is useless, don't do it, and it's like, honestly, that is missed damage opportunity. Your role is a damage dealer as an Ice Sage, and a little bit of CC because of your big chill. So the best thing to do, if sometimes You'll see it when we're fighting the boss. I end up getting knocked back, and two things. One is because I have higher max health and I have a bigger shield, I get knocked back, and the shield absorbs most of the damage that I would have took. Um, Another thing is that having that long range skill means it's less downtime on the boss. So when I get knocked back and I'm out of range, I can still shoot. I can still hit the boss, and I can still deal damage. Now, it's not as strong as the Ice Shard, but for a single target, it's like, especially if that single target mob has a really nasty special ability. Like one of the abilities is like a gravity one where it sucks everybody to the center of the boss. Some of the bosses, when they have that effect, they also probably the deadliest combination I came across was one this boss that had three effects. One would summon ads, so like the bees and stuff. Another one was the gravity, which sucked you in the center, and then the third one was the one that you usually see like the purple mushroom kings using, which applies this purple cloud on the ground, and you take damage over time while you're in it. And what happened is that the boss would keep dropping that, and it's like if you weren't long range and you were in melee and stuff, most of the people that were melee distance died. And there's very few, like only I think that round we had a candy barbarian. Yeah, you can see him standing there. The candy barbarian survived for that melee catastrophe. But yeah, so the primary stat is obviously your magic damage there. So you got magic damage, and then the next two, believe it or not, are energy regen. I got on one item. I don't find myself having to. I don't need it as much as some people would say. So I would have energy regen between 2 and 3. Now max health, I would weigh more towards position 2, and attack speed, I would weigh towards position 3. So, energy regen, if I could do it, would be a 2.5. I would just have it for at least one piece, energy regen. Then I would have attack speed would come in last among those, but I honestly max health, because the bigger your max health is, the bigger your shield is, and the bigger that ward is on you, the less you have to spam it. And also the fact that your ward not only gives you damage mitigation, but it increases your attack speed and your movement speed. So that helps you get out of, sticky situations a little bit quicker. And that extra attack speed means that you're flailing more attacks at the enemy. Now, there's something I want to try a little bit later on where I'm going to test, see if I can stack attack speed, because if I do, if I'm shooting, because right now I'm shooting almost twice as fast as one shard dropping. If I can shoot 3 times as fast as one shard dropping, then I might end up actually dealing more damage single target with my regular mouse click button than I would for my ice shard. So if I'm dealing more damage that way, might as well. Anyways, this is Uso, and thanks for my very brief guide of the Ice Age. If you guys want a more in-depth guide, just let me know in the comments below, and I'll end up doing that for you as well. Alright? Hey guys, just want to thank you again for watching. If you can just hit subscribe, like the video if you like them. Also, I have a Facebook page and Twitter. If you guys like to follow me, I'll have the links down below. And I'm picking Space Engineers back up, and me and some friends are going to be doing more sci-fi themed battles and stuff, kind of like the Star Trek ones that we had back in the past. So be sure to check them out. And just like always, thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.